Hey, Slanesh Devotee here, giving Urien another go. Thought I'd whip him out. As you can see, you've got some unwilling slaves in there, so I must be using the Black Crusade cards. And I'm up against Simop, playing Vezuel, the old Deep Striker. So I'm just having a look through. This is a voiceover game, so I'm just looking through and deciding whether or not I'm happy with this as an opening lineup. I don't think I'm going to keep this. I'm pretty sure I'm going to mulligan this. I'm checking out what sort of speed the game's going at and what's the how many cards are out there, because basically my deck is all about stopping them having cards. And the two Razor Wings, pretty keen to see those. That was pretty cool. I think I've got a Vile Creation, I think it's called, and a Carver. Yep, the Carver, and Crucible, which is nice. Always a fan of the Crucible. And let's see how we go. So, Vashya Trailblazer and Razor Wings. So, lose something. Loses a Rogue Trader. That's quite good, actually. I don't want him being able to spread out his command, so I'm happy enough to get rid of a Rogue Trader. Something's going into reserve on Planet 1. Which is a bit of a concern for me. But we do the other Razor Wings. Nowhere to put them except Planet 1, really. So it's a simple beginning. And I get him to discard Belial. Now that is huge. There he is, Master of the Deathwing, and he's not joining us today, buddy. That would have been a hard card. Now, actually, I kind of almost wish I'd left him with it, because I've got that Power from Pain, so potentially that could have been quite useful. He does get another command unit out, so that's quite frustrating. So I'm looking at how can I potentially go over the top of him, or at least equal him so he's not able to do anything. I think I'm thinking of going to that planet with Urien to make sure it dies, but I might put icons on the planet just to make sure I'm able to win the command, or at least stop his command if his warlord goes to the same spot. I am planning to play Torches, so I want to get the Crucible out. I want to make sure I'm adjusting what he's able to play with. And I'm considering going to Barlas to make sure he discards things from there as well. I've got a few options here, a few things in mind potentially. I've still got a decent number of resources, so just waiting to see what he comes up with. He glanced at it clearly and thought that it was like an event that occurs at that moment. I just had to clarify that it's actually a reaction to torches, so the more torches I play, the more I can use it. Okay, so and that's all he's got. So he's got quite a few resources left there, which is okay, but I'm a little bit concerned about. That I'm happy with. I'm equaling him there. If he turns up, I might be able to actually hit him quite hard. Maybe I'm considering going there. And no, I go to Barlas, so I want to keep the discard on pretty heavily. So that's fine. I'm thinking I've got 1,000 cuts and a Power from Pain. So if I can get rid of these two units, we'll be looking pretty good. Over I go, and he goes to Planet 2, which is quite helpful for me. Alright, Visions of Agony, really, really good, and another copy of the Carver. So we've got a couple of different options going on here. Alright, he's got a mobile to safety, that's perfectly fine, I'm happy with that. It would have been nice if I could have killed it. Perhaps no, I didn't want him. I really didn't want his Trailblazer to win on Barlas. I don't want him getting cards. And it's a Deathwing Terminators. That's a pretty hefty beastie. So he's going to win this planet. But I am thinking, when I saw that that was up, I was thinking, at least I've got a Power from Pain in hand already. So that makes me feel a bit better there. It's got no actions on planet 1, and I'm thinking there's not much I can do here. I've got a lot of things that I can use, like the 1000 Cuts, the Power from Pain, to get rid of the command elements. But for now, I'm just going to do the little bits and pieces I can. Is it Taurus or Iridial that he's at? And I figure I might as well retreat. There's no point in just letting him kill the thing. He still can't trigger it if it is. No, it was Iridial. So, you know, it might as well. He gets Carnath, which is solid as. I was a little bit worried actually when I saw that. Carnath and Planum, see, looking at Planum, if he puts them opposite my Warlord, I'm not going to be happy. Not happy at all. But he puts them on the first planet. He wants to roll along as quick as he can, which is actually good for me, I think, in this particular case. So I'm going to get rid of that command, hopefully. Yeah, I managed to kill it, so that's good. And Crucible. So let's have a look at his top 3. Fulgaris straight away. The Void Pirate is really useful, but the 3 shield that makes it better is pretty worrying. And even the odds, I figure, won't be a big enough deal. So I'm going to get rid of Fulgaris. Having played Vezuel, I've played Miserable Toad, playing as Vezuel a few times, and Fulgaris is a huge card, being that bonus when you deep strike stuff, and it's just a really good card. So I'm glad to get rid of that, and also the shielding. I don't want him to be able to shield stuff if at all possible. But it goes back in and shuffles. So there we go, that's 1000 Cuts running back through. And I probably should have done a Power from Pain now. I was hoping to Power from Pain. I was hoping I could kill the Trailblazer, and then I could Power from Pain the Terminators easier. Possibly I should have 1000 Cuts the Trailblazer, because I was already blocking the Rogue Trader, and I would have had a better chance of killing the Rogue Trader, whereas the Trailblazer is probably going to dance around a bit more. I'm looking at that and thinking that's going to be my first move in the next turn, and it's before he gets a turn at all, so he's down to 3 cards. I know he will have drawn a Void Pirate and a copy of Even the Odds, so I can see what his 3 cards are, and I can be quite ruthless about what I remove from him. I probably should have done a Power from Pain here. I possibly should have done the 1000 Cuts the other way around. And here you can see me thinking through some of the options that I'm hoping I'll be able to use. The Deathwing Terminators by themselves are just a big enough unit that he can just roll me a lot of the way. So I'm really hoping I get some good options to deal with them. But I trigger Barlas, and he's down to... Well, he's down to 2 cards, but he's down by a copy of... Jump Pack, which is really, really good. I am glad that he's missing that one. That would have made those Deathwing even worse, although Power from Pain would have helped. I'm thinking maybe I should have let him keep a lot of his attachments. Well, not Fulgaris, but some of the other attachments, because things like, I know I've got Clivex in here, Power from Pain, or even 1000 Cuts, if it's down to just that last point, you know. Killing things with the attachments on them gets rid of those cards as well. And draw a Clivex, that's huge, that's really, really good. But I don't have a whole lot of money to use it yet. And I'm thinking, I need to be careful. I want to be able to, if I can, use it on those Terminators. It'd be lovely to do it this turn. but I need to be able to do something that'll get a point of damage on there first. Perhaps put a Twisted Rax onto that planet. It's all a bit scary. So I think Visions of Agony is the main thing I need to do here. Let's see what he's got. Iron Halo, Void Pirate, even the odds. That is all he's got. And so it's a simple choice for me here. If you've only got the one unit, the one thing that can be put out, I'm going to use it. I'm going to choose it. Get rid of your command. I don't want you to have any. So there we go. That's his turn. And seeing as I've done that, I'm like, I will immediately use the Crucible. I don't want you drawing any cards, and the cards that you do draw I want to be careful of. And now, the Deathstorm drop pod really scared me. Those things get hit so hard, so often, they just keep triggering, you know. But I think I go for the Assault Squad in the end, because basically, yeah, I don't want him to have any options. If he can't put out any units, he can't oppose me, basically, is what I'm thinking there. And there we go, throw that into the pile there. Alright, so I've got 4 left. I'm thinking I can put the racks out, but then I absolutely must get more resources to be able to afford the Clivex. And at the moment that's coming from Ferrin, and I'd have to go to Ferrin myself to guarantee that I'd be able to get those resources. If he goes to Ferrin, and I don't, then I won't have enough for the Clivex. It's this second guessing sort of thing. Unless I skip the racks. If I go to Planet 1 and skip the racks, and I know he doesn't have a backlash, but he does have 2 shield cards. So he's going to get a hit on my Warlord in that case, you know? He's got a 2 shield card for sure. Although it would have been a way to draw out the shield card, so maybe it would have been worth the hit, just to get that out, because I'm not expecting him to be able to put many hits on me that I'm not prepared for. There we go, I'm going for the rack. And I'm thinking about going to other planets. Now, Taurus has popped up, and I'm not a fan of Taurus. So if he goes to Taurus, I am kind of buggered. It basically ruins my Urien games, because I stop them having units, and then they can just counter me, you know? So I chose to make sure I got the money. And frustrating thing for me here is he's got the initiative now, and I can't. He's gonna hit the racks first, and I was like, all that setup ruined, because if I'd have Clivexed and then Power from Pain, you know, like, very, very frustrating. Oh, and also, he's gone to Karnath. He wants to guarantee he wins there, because then he can trigger that Taurus, which is very, very worrying for me. So I lose the rack, and I'm done, because I can't do anything there. I've got no real options, and I'm expecting Taurus. So what do we get here? He chooses Ballas, and I'm like, what? Why? He chooses Valkyration. That's alright. Oh, look, I think he was going to change his mind there. Actually, never mind. I think I jumped the gun. But that probably would have turned the game quite significantly. Oh, no, he can't do Taurus, can he? We actually have the same number of units. So I've gotten lucky there, because I didn't plan ahead with that problem. As you can tell from my voice, I wasn't able to really think that through. But I managed to keep the numbers right, which is really, really good. And route the Trailblazer, just, you know, I don't want any commands, so I'll route it if I can. Okay, and oh, really lucky here, I've got another Visions of Agony. He's first, so he's got a couple of chances to get cards out. And I'm thinking, do I want to put out another Crucible before our Visions of Agony? got a drop pod, but if I can keep the deep strike cards out of his hands, that might be okay. So I decide I want to maximise my picking and choosing for him. So he's got the Death Storm. I know he's got Iron Halo, even the odds. I know he's drawn a few things in command. Now, I'm not sure what else is in his hand at this stage. Or I can't remember now, anyway. He goes with a Road Trader. He's obviously picked that up recently. I hate that. I'm really, really annoyed. A Void Pirate would have been worse. I would have been more annoyed for a Void Pirate. And we go with Vision's Valley. What has he got left in those 4 cards? There we go. Another 8th Company Assault Squad. He's got 2 of the even and the odds by now, and he's still got that Iron Halo. So obviously, we get rid of that. We're not letting you deep strike things. We are not letting you have units. Okay, so they are going away. And then I'm going to do one of my Crucibles. And he's got 2 units. And he's got an Indomitable, which is going to be really quite difficult for me. What I think I possibly should have done here, because I'm clearly choosing the Indomitable, because I don't want him to just be able to save the life of something at the last second, but possibly I should have done the Scout, and then, because, you know, I was going to be able to, gone and done the other unit, and then I would have known he had no units, and instead I'm getting rid of his attachments. Yeah, looking back, his attachments are pointless. If he's got nothing, he can put them on. And if I can get rid of a unit with things like the Clavix and the Power from Pain, then the attachments go away anyway. So I think I possibly should have used my 2 Crucibles there to get rid of the Scout and the Void Pirate, and make sure he had no units on the table. That was probably a more useful idea then. So at the moment I've got enough to do a Clavix and I've got enough to do a Power from Pain, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to do both. I know he doesn't have Backlash, so my Clavix is safe. But he's got 2 shield and 2 1 shields. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention for a second there. I missed where I chose. I'm assuming I chose Planet 5. That would have been what I'd choose now. Yeah, I'm going to stop that command. You know, I sacrifice setting up my position potentially, or triggering the battle ability I particularly want, to make sure that that command is not coming your way. But Planum is scary for me. He might do something quite impressive against me again, which would suck, to put it mildly. I've got no way to put a damage onto any of those units he's putting on Planum, so that's frustrating. He's going to move to Trailblazer. 1, there we go. And so that's frustrating. I hate him being able to spread out and get his command. Not on, buddy. But that's that. Okay, so I can route something. Now, I was a little bit aware that if I routed the Terminators, and he decided he wanted to move them, because I'd routed them, you know, it brings them sort of up on the head, I was worried he might decide to put the Terminators across from my Warlord. And I know he's been able to pull, although not this turn actually. I was going to say I know he has an Indomitable, but he doesn't this turn. So I decided I'd get rid of the Trailblazers because they're such a difficult command thing to get sorted. And I thought that way I can be sure he's not getting the extra command. That was my thought process there. There they go. But I've got a couple of units that are alive and I want to replanet. That's nice. Basically all I'm thinking about, I want to stop his planets. He's got 2 blue already and he's setting himself up on a blue planet. I think there's one more after that, but that's fine. Okay, so, and I had not even considered that. He moves it out of my way. And I'm like, I would have loved to have pulled off that. But, so, in that case, nothing else to do but swing for the HQ. I was kind of waiting to see if the Warlord would go back, because I need to, my Aatrox would hit the Warlord. Just checking if there's anything I can do first, but I don't think there is. He says he's done, and so we get to hit the Trailblazer. Does he let it die? I really don't like the Trailblazer, so it'd be nice if he does. Yes, he lets it die, and then I mentioned that actually it should have hit the Epistolary as well. I get there eventually. Here we go, he'd be in HQ2, because his battle's over and he would have returned by then. I believe I have that right. The Warlords don't wait until the end of the phase or anything, do they? So there we go, so he'd get a ping, and he uses his Iron Halo, but it's attack only, so it doesn't apply. So with that and the Indomitable, I know he's got coming. On important planets, I'm going to need something to be able to fight that Warlord, which is going to be tricky. Alright, so what am I going to use against these guys? He's going to win Ballas unopposed, potentially. And I've got another Power from Pain, and I've got the Ichor Gauntlet, and I'm thinking, actually, that could be quite useful. And the Blackguard, being able to take resources off him to help fund my torches, is an interesting plan, I think. So I go there, but I don't add any command when I go there, which is a bit harsh. And he's got a Void Pirate, which is really, really rough. I don't like that at all. But the Cabalites have no command, which is hard to deal with. So we'll go with the Ichor Gauntlet. Now we can get out a bunch of Power from Pains quite happily, which is really, really good. And coming out. Now those are the two that I could have discarded with the Crucibles before. And those two are going to make a huge difference on income. He's going to get at least 3 cards more than I would have liked him to. I don't know what he's able to put in reserve. But yeah, letting all that command go out, really, really not good. So, I think I possibly should have gone to Planet 2, because I knew I had the Power from Pains, so I knew I was going to be able to get rid of everything before the Deathwing were able to hit my ward. But to be fair, the worry that he was coming in is a bit of a legitimate one. Although I probably could have afforded to put in the Clivex opposite, with the Blackguard and the Clivex both on Planet 1. So, Crucible, I should have got rid of the units, knowing I wanted to get rid of units. That was the key there. A couple of turns back would have led to that command being 3 cards less and 2 resources less. It would have been huge. And I think I possibly should have gone to Planet 2. Done all my Power from Pains, and then jumped in with the Clivex onto that planet. Between the Clivex and the Blackguard, I think I possibly could have scared the Warlord off. He would have Iron Haloed the 2, and then he would have taken a hit of 3, and then he would have taken a hit of, well, another hit of 3, 2 and 3 if he'd have tried to split the damage. Yeah, I think I would have been able to scare him off in that case. and double up the power from pain. And get rid of the units. That's what I should be doing, get rid of the units. And then we'll go over the other one, get rid of the other unit. Yep. Top 3. Yep, so we'll get rid of the units. Doesn't matter if he's got the deep strike cruiser because he hasn't got enough stuff that can be in reserve, you know. That's the thought there. And I still count 2 units. Did I not Echo Gauntlet? I thought I Echo Gauntleted. Or did I swing? Oh no, it was a 10th Company Scout and a Rogue Trader at this planet. That's right, so I have done the extra. So he takes out the bigger, but now when we all stand up, I can double up the power from pain again. Because Urien is now active. I'm going to stay for this. I don't think it would be the end of the world for him to stay, but he just doesn't know what I have, I think. It worries him a bit. Yeah. So he would have taken, coming in, he would have taken at least the 2, 4, yeah. And then before I win the combat, I'm going to the power from pain. And Void Pirate, which is obvious, but then I'm going to do it again. And the Deathwing I've finally gotten rid of. But that extra lot of command that came in, that really, really hurt me. So the Blackguards steal 2 resources off him, which is really nice. That really helps me think I'm going to be able to fund the things I want to fund, so that's cool. Pleased with that. There we go, and then trigger Bartless. Do I tell him, or does he do it? I'm not seeing anything discarded. Do I not tell him to do it? Oh dear. So only 4 cards in there, but still that's something from the carver. Oh, I think I completely forgot to get him to discard. That's really frustrating. I wish I had done that. That's so annoying. So he goes with the cruiser, which I knew he was going to be able to get, and I don't know what the next one is. Throw the carver onto that first planet because it is a win condition for him, which is really frustrating. I've got Suffering and Searing Brand, which are both alright. And I've got the Clivex, which is really, really handy. Another drop pod. Oh, he's got 1 card in Deep Strike there, and I don't like it. I do not like that he has that card in Deep Strike. I've got nothing I can put Suffering on. I don't want to deploy the Clivex now, so I'm fresh out of luck. I wonder if I could have put in the carver undeep striked and then somehow swapped them around or something. In the action window before the battle, perhaps put one into reserve and then deep strike it. Maybe. Could have done something silly like that. I don't know. It would have potentially helped me with command in that case. Unless I think the carver does it have command? I can't remember now. Yeah, that 1 turn of good command, which if I'd have gotten rid of his units, I think I could have avoided. I think I could have avoided that good command turn where he's clearly picked up a bunch of useful cards. Oh, look at all of them. The problem is that's triggering 2 points of damage for each one of those that he gets to use. And pulling him another card for his Warlord. Oh, look at them all. Oh, and then I have a question for the... Yeah, see, that's for his command there. And if I'd have put the carver in, played a Torture like Searing Brand, which flipped the carver into reserve, and then deep strike it before the battle. I think that would have been good. So I'm just asking if we take turns for the deep strike, and so I'm just going to go and look on some websites and have a check. And it turns out that we take turns doing a deep strike. So he's got initiative, he'll deep strike 1, do some damage to me and my guys at the planet. I'll get to deep strike, and then he'll deep strike, and it's not going to be pretty. And unfortunately, this is a win condition planet for him. So with my Urien deck, I'm just prolonging as long as possible the inevitable. I'm hoping to pick things like Soul Seizure to do pull those Deathwing in on my side. Have enough Clivexes and Power from Pains and Thousand Cuts to winnow away all the things that are there. Or a bunch of Rack Arts experimentations to ready the racks over and over and just keep pummeling things. Those sorts of things. But I really should have stayed focused. I would have needed to make sure he didn't have the units, because clearly just those 3 extra cards just overwhelmed. So there we go, he managed to kill the Razor Wings, and then he can kill, or he can damage the Blackguard. Okay, and then my turn to deep strike. No, wait. Oh yes, I'm just making sure he's complete with all his reactions and things. I quite like the effect on Octagon where the card's face down but you can still see it and they don't. I think that's really handy. So I flip over the carver, I'm going to kill the Tech Marine, ideally. 4 damage, 4 torches in the torches in the discard pile, so that's cool. And then I'm looking at the rules here. After you deep strike, exhaust it. So I didn't realise, but that's his attack, you know? And there's no point in putting him back into reserve on this one. So, because he's not going to go back into reserve on an adjacent planet and be able to hit on the next planet, although that's a really nice ability. I really like it. Terminator armor throws on the next second just to keep him alive. He's able to ready the elites. Just not fun. Let's see what else he's going to deep strike here. Oh, he's got his reaction, so he's going to kill some stuff, I'm sure. Takes out the Blackguard completely. Yeah. Jump pack, which I'm assuming will go into the Terminators. Yep, okay. Well, after 1 round I can Clivex them. And that's 2 damage onto the carver. And keeps these cards going in. Flips over a jump pack for the other one. So they're both in jump packs. So we've got Deathwing Terminators on jump packs, and we have a Tech Marine in Terminator armor with a jump pack. Stupid card game. Oh, he's put out a beleaguered garrison there at some point, hasn't he? I missed that. Okay, so he's finally finished off the carver. Thinking Searing Brand. I can't target the Terminators until I've lasted a round of combat, but I won't last a round of combat. 3 unpreventable damage I think would kill the Tech Marine. So I think I'm going to try and Searing Brand the Tech Marine. If I Searing Branded the Tech Marine, and then Ica Gauntleted and Searing Branded the Tech Marine again. Oh no, I think it has to be with no Warlord, none of their Warlord. Okay. Searing Brand the Tech Marine, Ica Gauntlet to make sure I can Searing Brand the Tech Marine, although he's probably going to discard his cards. But if I can then get through 1 round, I might be able to have hit the 2 cards down. Do I Ica Gauntlet it? I should have done the Echo Gauntlet. He probably had 2 more cards to discard. But after one more round, I can Clivex that thing and get rid of it. Possibly do some damage to the Tech Marine. I don't know. Not enough for sure. I've got nothing left I can do at this point. It's going to hit me hard. May as well shield it. Yep. He's going to ready, which is annoying. I was like, I should have Clivexed earlier just so he didn't do that, but actually then I couldn't have affected the Deathwings. Ah! And then at that point I'm like, well, I can't do it anymore. I'm going to be buggered anymore. So let's get them. You know, I've got effectively no chance with the Deathwing standing again, so let's just do it. And see, all those attachments that he'd spent ages painstakingly being able to put out go away. I absolutely should have left all the attachments around. I was really worried about them. I should have let him keep his Terminator armor. I should have let him, yeah. Well. Yeah, the Indomitable stops me even hurting them. And that's enough to bloody Urien. There we go. No, not Infest Planet. There we go. Bloody Warrior. So Urien's out of the fight. Yeah, I just realised that I should have Echo Gauntleted the Searing Brand. Yeah, I really should have. But 2 there. And then, is he going to Deep Strike that last card? No, he's just going to do it old school. Just ready and beat down, ready and beat down. And there it is. Using the Warlord, just, yeah, make sure. Boom, boom. Get yourself that planet. See, I'm just waiting. There we go. There we go. You have won the game. Yeah, that was good fun. I do enjoy Urien, and I think I played pretty well with Urien that time. I'll have to crack him back out again because he's just so much fun. He's, I think, horrible to play against, but good fun doing it. Alright, hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you think that my commentary had better ideas than what I actually did. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.